Well, hey everybody. Thought I'd do the video from my home office today, Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah. Tomorrow for me is root canal day. Yeah, joy of all joys. But I don't feel that nervous about it. I think I'll be nervous in the morning, but anything to not have tooth pain back like I had last week. So let me read a verse to you. For a dream comes through much activity, and a fool's voice is known by his many words. So when we have a dream that, we're being pulled to something, sometimes instead of going towards it, we start talking about it, and we talk, and we procrastinate, and we never make those moves that get us closer. Just fix this camera a little bit. So thank you for being here with me live today. And here's a point I want you to think about as we go into this short discussion. The recurring themes in your life start to reveal the truth about which issues you need to tackle first or second. Listen for the lesson. So procrastination can be rooted, I believe it's rooted in fear. And where we keep putting things off. I'll do it next year at this time. I will be doing this. And we talk about it a lot instead of putting action behind it. And I found myself doing that during my life. I don't do it much anymore, but I did. And I used excuses not to get there. And it was all rooted in fear and lack of knowledge and thinking that I couldn't do it. So I may be talking about, this may be hitting home to you today. When I posted something, I think it was earlier today, about how will you help the attorney? It's a question that people have difficulty with, no matter what, however you're getting into the field. People have difficulty with this question because they sincerely don't know how they're going to help the attorney. And it is one of the single most important questions, the top question you need to answer in your notebook and write down how, if I was asked this in an interview, how will you help me? And guess what? I was asked this question. But every new entry-level paralegal, legal secretary, legal assistant, paralegal needs to know the answer to this question. Because what if you're asked, how will you help me? And this is a question given to you in the interview. Will everybody ask this question? No. But you've got to know the answer to this in order to promote yourself and to know that you've got the right skills in order to help the attorney, and that you're not going to be a baby attorney. You're going to be an assistant to the attorney. So what will you need to know in order to knock it out of the park in the interview, even before the interview, in your cover letter and resume? And then how will you communicate this, and what will you communicate about what you know? It's not, you can't say, well, I'll understand that when I'm on the job. That's not soon enough. So I want you to really contemplate that. If you scroll down, you'll notice not a single person answered that question. So that tells me something. And as a mentor, as a teacher, it tells me that people are stymied. They're flummoxed. They're confused. They're puzzled by that question. So that's because people don't know what paralegals do. Not really. And when you're new to the field, that's one of the things you have to dig to find out. My students, it's like a light bulb goes off when we go to our private exclusive group and we talk about those things that they need to do as a paralegal. It's an aha moment that it's not what they thought it was. And that's okay. They're still happy, but it's something that they had not learned, that they hadn't discovered, because there's nobody telling them or you. So let's go into this a little bit. Go back to the procrastination, okay? And if you have questions while I'm on here live with you, go ahead and ask, okay? Sometimes there's a comfort that we don't want to break out of. And the truth is, you like things as they are, even though you might say you don't. If you're not pushing yourself out of that box, then you do like things as they are. You have to be honest with yourself about that. I'm happier in this comfort zone and talking about it rather than doing something about it. Okay? And people stop listening to us when we just talk, talk, talk. Number 2, tackling this journey of becoming a paralegal is overwhelming and complicated. Well, you know what? It's overwhelming and it can be complicated. And then the more you learn, the more your confidence builds. And then finally you're there. Are you willing to learn a lot before you ever send your resume and cover letter out? And I don't necessarily mean school or a certificate program, but by digging on Google and learning what paralegals do in each of those areas of law that you're interested in. Are you willing to put that work in, without being spoon-fed? Sorry, the dogs are going to start barking now. Tackling the project, you'll have projects at work that will be complicated and you can't say, oh, could you do it for me? Or I can't handle this. You have to do it. Number 3, I don't really think I deserve what I want. That comes from a deeper place than, sorry for the dogs, than I can tackle with you. Of course you deserve it. There's a God above that thinks you're so darn special. And there's no reason why you couldn't achieve it. If you're able to, if you have office skills, which you do need for this job, big time, okay? Number 4 is the lack of a positive outlook. I don't really think it can happen. That mindset has to make a shift. That, yes, I think it can happen. That negative self-talk will not get you anywhere. It will keep you stuck at a stop sign. Okay? So you're the one that has to stop that and then not allow naysayers to feed into you. And number 5, I'm afraid of what others will think about what I am looking at, the dream I'm looking at. That's a mindset shift where you have to stop thinking about what others think of you. There's a plan and a purpose in the works for your life. And God has a path set out for you. And people are going to say what they say. They won't like what you have on. They won't like your hair color. They won't like your accent. People criticize everything. So it's where we have to develop more of a thick skin. I'm an extremely sensitive person, extremely sensitive. And I can feel the pain of other people, but I learned how to stand up and say no to people who are in a bullying mode or naysaying mode and say stop. So, and that includes family. Most of my family didn't even know what I did in my career. So they would go, what made you be, it was like a criticism. Why would you be interested in that? I said, why wouldn't I be? So don't listen to too much of that. Shut it down. Okay. I asked somebody one time, do you have anything positive to say? And they were like squirming. So peel back the layers of what's causing the procrastination, what's causing that stopping of the forward movement, motion towards your career. What's stopping it? What a lot of it is unbelief. That, nah, I'm just not smart enough. Everybody else is smarter than me. And that's not the truth. I've worked for some pretty questionable attorneys I would question their intelligence, okay, in my 30-year career. So that didn't have an ability to think in a logical way, believe it or not, and they were limited. So they're not geniuses. You never put people on a pedestal. Um, you find that out by working anywhere. Some people should never be managers. Some people should never be attorneys. So they're human, they make mistakes, but they're certainly not geniuses. Don't think that they're up here, you're down here. That's a whole mindset that's negative. So peel back the layers and figure out what's causing your procrastination. Then ask these. I'm going to list 5 or a few areas that are, I would, instead of saying self-sabotaging, I'll say they're tanking you. It's like, is the thought that you're thinking hurting or helping you? If you say, I can't do this, it's too hard for me. That's the negative self-talk. It might be hard for sure. But does that mean you can't ultimately do it? No. You just have to find out how to maneuver through it and do it. Because every day at the law firm or the government agency or the legal department of a corporation, where city hall where you work, wherever you are, you're going to have challenges come up that you have to solve. So you cannot continually say, oh, I'm just not bright enough to do this. You have to figure out the answers. So what new thought do you want to put in front of yourself to stop the procrastination today? Instead of saying, I'm overwhelmed, say, I'm going to take this apart one step at a time. I don't need to do the whole thing in 1 week. I can take a little more time, but I have to have some goals in front of me so I can line it out. And you don't have to spend a lot of time lining it out. What will you do today for 15 minutes? That's it, okay? So 2 thoughts today. What is your procrastination telling you? And how would you answer the question below regarding how you're going to help the attorney every day at the law firm or wherever you're going to work, government agency? Maybe you'll work at NASCAR. That's one of the places that has a paralegal. It could be anywhere, but a nonprofit. But how are you going to keep pushing forward, and how are you going to help the attorney? 2 huge questions for you to answer in a positive way, not with negativity. And let me know what you come up with. Are you brave enough to do that? Are you brave enough to try to answer that question below and figure that out? Okay. Don't forget to go to my website and take advantage, if you have not already, of the complimentary items. One is 19 alternative paralegal careers list. Just remember the word 19, the number 19, and look at the top of my website, paralegalcoffeetalk.com. Same name as this page. So go there and look at the top and look for 19. And then also look for the free chapter of my book. You'll see that off to the right, or you can get the whole book by another tab. But one of the most important things you can do for your career is to take my class, Paralegal Inner Circle class, and there is info on that under another tab, and you can find out more about it. In fact, I'm going to be putting a video up there on that page later today. I have to record it yet, but I'm going to do that later today. That is the class that will teach you the practical side of being a paralegal, and with over 40 videos and multiple PDF documents to download and 2 PDF books and a private Facebook group, okay, where you can ask all the questions you want. So that is it for today. The other thing is, look, when you're on the website, look under bar charts and get yourself this legal terminology bar chart. It's a laminated thing. It really folds out to this huge thing, and it's great. And so I'm using it to test you guys on this page, to teach you some definitions, but I carry this with me all the time. And there's some words in there that I had, no occasion to use, but they're very interesting. So be sure to grab one or get yourself a legal dictionary, even if it's a small one, or you can look things up online. But this is great to carry around, and when you go to your first job, to bring it with you. Okay. All right. And you don't have to memorize all this. It's just a reference. So any questions while I'm on here live, please feel free to ask or say hello. And I'm glad you were with me today. And any questions at all, post them on the page or go to the free group for people who have never worked in the legal field. Okay, that's who that group is for. I'm always shocked that people are trying to join that group who are not, who are paralegals. But if you're watching today and you are a paralegal, that is not the group for you. That's for people who have never worked in the field in any capacity, okay? But it's called Paralegal Break-In, all right? And that should give you a clue by the title. And but please join us over there, and you can ask questions there as well if you have any. So have a great day, and I will see you more than likely on Wednesday, because tomorrow is dentist day, unfortunately. And I will see you Wednesday doing a video, okay? Have a great one. Take care. Bye.